Alright, so guys, let's look at my lap at LeMans. We're gonna start at the end, which is actually the last chicane. You're gonna see I'm gonna brake all the way out here, just to have a straighter angle into the last chicane. Very important here is track limits. Notice this first one, track limit, it's the white line, so you gotta stay inside of the white line. But the second part is actually the curve. You just gotta stay inside the curve. The white line doesn't matter. On this one right here, the limit, it's actually the curve, not the white line. So I could have been all the way out there to the left, and I would have been okay with that. This one right here, the limit is the curve actually, not the white line, so I could have been more to the inside. This one is important. The limit, it's the curve as long as there's a curve. Once it's done, it's a white line, so you gotta jump back into the circuit before the curve ends. If you stay out any longer, it's a penalty, big one. Going on this straight, just notice how I'm not all the way out to the left because it's dirty out there, so your tires get dirty. This one here, really important. The curve is the limit, but you gotta be careful with it. Second part, it's also the curve. I'm just not going as fast as I can. Now this one, the limit is the curve when it starts. Before, it's the white line. Just don't get it twisted. This here, it's the same thing. The limit is the curve once you turn in. And second part is going to be the same thing. Limit is the curve, not the white line, so it doesn't matter. But the third one is the same story as the first chicane. The limit is the curve once it starts, but before is the white line, obviously. This one I'm braking right here in the black mark, the tire marks on the right hand side. That's what I'm braking. Just trying to keep it straight. Don't step out to the white line because it's dirty and you're probably gonna just mess it up if you step outside the white line. Alright, so now we are approaching my favorite one because it's the one I was having most trouble with, Indianapolis. When you turn the wheel, once you're gonna brake, you gotta try to get the wheel straight somehow, because if not, you're gonna lose it. Just go all the way down, try to stay in the curve. There's braking sign, there's no braking sign here. It's just our memory. You gotta find something to give you a tip to when to brake. But there's honestly no braking mark on that turn. It's just, I just rev it out. Once I gotta shift into fourth gear, that's when I know I have to brake. This one coming up was killing me at the beginning, so it's just braking straight and trying to stay on the brake a little. Then here's just playing with the weight of the car. I didn't have to lift, like on my good laps I don't have to lift. I had to lift on this one, then just Try to stay close on this one. You can abuse this curve a little bit more. This one you gotta be careful with it. The white line is the limit. So if you go outside the white line, it's a penalty. Again, this one, stepping out. Just trying to stay in the throttle. Just staying in the throttle when I'm going over the curves. It's the main thing. I'm staying on the throttle when I'm going over the curves just to balance the car. Because if I don't, then I guess by this point you know what happens if you don't. This one, I'm gonna mess it up. It's just so you all can see. See, I went over the line on the first one. That's why I got the penalty. And that's a good one. That's about that. If there's anything I missed, just text me on Discord or leave a comment here. Great one. Now if you wanted a full lap, here it is next. Alright, this is it. Have a great night.